This is Barry Zalma speaking for Claim School Incorporated's blog, Zalma on Insurance. Today, we speak about why insurance fraud requires a doctor to lose his license, and why sexual misconduct, bribery, fraud, unnecessary surgery resulted in the loss of a license in the state of New Jersey. Luis Quartararo appealed from an August 22, 2022 final agency decision of the State Board of Medical Examiners revoking his license to practice medicine and surgery in New Jersey. The Superior Court of New Jersey, in the matter of the suspension or revocation of the license of Luis Quartararo, MD, to practice medicine and surgery in the state of New Jersey, the Superior Court of New Jersey Appellate Division on October 31, 2024, affirmed the revocation. The board charged Dr. Quartararo with engaging in sexual contact with patients, negligent acts by performing surgeries with co-surgeons who lacked the requisite privileges, and acts of fraud, deception, and misrepresentation by miscoding procedures on patient operative reports and listing procedures in the reports he had not performed for the purpose of ensuring insurance coverage. Quartararo was a physician and board-certified orthopedic surgeon licensed to practice medicine in the state of New Jersey. Approximately 1 week before one of his patients, KD, was scheduled to meet with board investigators to speak about his sexual misconduct, Quartararo gave KD $20,916, which she told an investigator was for school. Later, Quartararo's attorney offered her more money to retract the statement she had made to the board about her relationship with Quartararo. At a formal hearing, the board's expert, Dr. Ashraf, addressed Quartararo's treatment of patient YO as one example that revealed that the surgical procedures Quartararo performed were not medically necessary. In reviewing the description of Quartararo's procedure on YO's spine, Dr. Ashraf concluded that Quartararo's surgery on YO completely normal spine was gross negligence. Regarding the fraud claims alleging that Quartararo had failed to properly code surgical procedures that he performed on several patients, Dr. Ashraf testified that the whole function of the operations section on the first page of the operative report was to list the procedures that were performed during the operation, and he testified that despite laminectomy appearing on the first page of medical reports, the post-surgery MRIs revealed that laminectomies had not been performed. The administrative law judge, the ALJ, issued a comprehensive 79-page decision and concluded that Quartararo had engaged in gross malpractice, professional misconduct, failure to comply with regulations administered by the board, and failure to be of good moral character. On August 22, 2022, the board filed its final decision revoking Quartararo's license for a minimum of 7 years from the date of voluntary surrender, April 5, 2019. The board concluded that Quartararo's misconduct warrants a serious penalty in excess of that recommended by the ALJ, and that he flagrantly ignored and in fact shattered professional norms when he engaged in sexual misconduct with patients YR and KD. The board found Quartararo's conduct was so egregious that the only appropriate discipline was license revocation. The board also imposed an aggregate monetary sanction of $343,909.75, comprised of a civil penalty of $90,000, $61,684.75 in costs, and $192,225 in attorney's fees. The board determined that revocation was warranted because he preyed on two vulnerable patients, employed intimidation and coercion tactics to dissuade at least one of his victims from testifying about the true nature of their relation, and resorted to making threats resulting in the issuance of a temporary restraining order against him. Quartararo admitted he had not performed laminotomies and that he had used the laminotomy code to ensure that he would be paid by insurance companies. He did so rather than correctly coding the procedures he actually performed because of the risk he would otherwise not be paid. In my opinion, Quartararo admitted before the ALJ that he committed fraud by billing insurers for procedures he did not perform. As such, he admitted to committing a federal as well as a New Jersey felony that should be prosecuted and presented to the U.S. attorney and the local district attorney for prosecution. He lost his license because he took advantage sexually of vulnerable patients, committed gross acts of malpractice, and profited from knowing and intentional acts of insurance fraud, sufficient to allow him to pay for counsel to work against the ALJ's rulings and that of the court. The people of New Jersey are now safe from his criminal and unprofessional conduct for a few more years, and in my opinion, he should be prosecuted and sentenced to prison for the fraud. This video was adapted from my blog, Zelma on Insurance, which is available free to anyone who clicks on the URL zelma.com/blog. You can subscribe to the blog, and if you do, you'll receive notice of every blog posting, usually 5, sometimes 6 a week, and you will gain access to the more than 4,900 blog postings. You can also subscribe to these videos on YouTube and rumble.com. They're free. And if you do, I'd appreciate it if you click on the like button on YouTube or the thumbs up button on rumble.com. Please tell your friends and colleagues about these blogs and these videos so that they too can subscribe. And if you're interested in further detail about insurance, insurance claims, insurance fraud, and insurance law, please consider for a very small fee subscribing to my Substack publication. Thank you for your attention.